Hello my friends, and welcome back again to another ridiculous video from myself. Um, the video is just a match I had on the new Suffocation Pit. I say new. All I mean by that is that they changed the tiles. Obviously, if you play, you already know that. I don't mind the Suffocation Pit map for Hag. I find it quite fun. I tend to try and keep one side, usually the side where the main building is, not the shack side. But that depends on where I spawn and everything else. But anyway, this match was against 4 Claudettes or 4 Blendettes. They're all in the dark clothes. The only difference between them were 2 of them were wearing hats and 2 of them were not. So they got a good map, I think, being Blendettes, and they got a Macmillan map. It was an interesting match. I thought it was quite fun, and hopefully you will too. I'm going to stop rabbiting on now and let the footage play for you. Oh, and just before I go as well, welcome back if you're returning, and a very warm welcome if you're new. I hope you enjoy the video. So here we are on the Suffocation Pit Macmillan map. Lucky for me, I started at the back of the main building. I do prefer to be on this side of the map. I'm just checking where the gens are and deciding that I will be keeping this side of the map. So first we start off with a few little traps, hoping not to run into anybody while I'm doing it, as that usually spells disaster when you're playing Hag if you don't get to set up at least a few traps before they realise where you are and what you're doing. So the add-ons I'm using today, again, are the Rusty Shackles for the silent traps and the Dried Cicada for extra teleportation range. My perks are No Way Out, Remember Me, which are both endgame perks, Franklin's for the flashlights, and Surge. I do realise they renamed it to Jolt, but to me it will always be Surge, so I have been enjoying Surge since they updated it, and it doesn't have a cooldown now. I found it to be very useful, so hopefully you'll see some use out of it in this match. As you can see, we got a nice early down there from the traps that I preset in the main building, which is good for us, but although they have already done a gen, so there's our first stack of No Way Out, which will stop the gates at the end should it come down to that. Now we just go back to retrapping. I'm trying to hold this gen here in the middle as well if I can. Over here behind this rock, this is a very good trap. Survivors don't expect you to trap there, as it's on the outskirts of a map near a wall, but you find that survivors travel that way quite a lot. You'll see here in a second I catch somebody out with it. So that little spot there that divides the 2 maps just behind a rock here, very good place to trap. Also good if you play Trapper as well. Of course we retrap because the medkit was dropped there in case they go back for it. And again, that trap here, it's between the divide of the 2 maps. I do recommend that trap if you play Hag. Of course, having the shackles helps, as they can't hear the traps being set off, but Claudette just standing on the hill looking at me. I was trying to find my way around, and unfortunately the opening's this side, so I have to go all the way around. And by the time I get there, she's gone. Luckily for me, they are doing the maps on shack side, which is what I want. I want to keep the gens on the pit side. I'm not really too bothered about getting hit with pallets. For me, the sooner I can get rid of the pallet, the better, really. So I tend not to respect them. Now, as they're the same here, I didn't know which one was which. I got confused as to whether I was chasing the one who'd come off the hook or the one who did the unhook. Which is the problem if you have a lobby and all the characters are the same. There's some surge going off. When I'm running surge, this is why I try to keep a 3 gen if I can, or a bunch of gens close together, as if they do all the other gens over the other side, the surge will come more into play when we get down to the last few gens, as they'll stay in the area obviously trying to get the gens, and surge will keep popping them for you. Another nice down for us. I do like the traps at the back of the log piles there. And that tile over there is new, as is this one in the middle. So we go back, and I always try to put you see there, I try to put it inside the plant so it's not as easily seen. And that's one of our hooks gone in the middle, and that will come into play near the end of the game. So close. I think they realised what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep this side of the map as they do start to work a gen over this side. I can hear someone's on the chest in this building, but by the time I get there, she's already vacated. And again, this is the problem when they're all the same, you're not sure which one you've hooked and which one you haven't. So I got DS there, but that's fine. Obviously they keep running back to this side of the map as they know I haven't been over there, so they know it's relatively safe to go back over to Shack side. So we just go back to placing our traps. And we catch them on this gen here. They'd snuck around and got onto this gen. It's one of the ones I didn't want them to have, but as we've already managed to get rid of one player, it's not too bad. Now, obviously I can't hook her on this hook here, as the other person died on this hook, as I just found out, so I have to take her further down. I was actually surprised that I made this hook, so the distance I travelled with her. So now we've got 2 left, and they are both injured, which is good for me. So I know they're going to go for the rescue, but I just want to get a few more traps up over here, as I haven't been over here much. Again, I go back to this area again, as I find this a very good trap. And here you see, for some reason, both of them came in injured to get the unhook, which I thought was a little silly. This one wanted to take the borrowed time hit, and then she finds out there's no pallet. That was an attempt to dead hard, the new dead hard, but it didn't work. And now my problem is that they're all in this area, but I only have 2 hooks that I can reach, as the one in the middle is gone. So I managed to get, excuse me, I managed to get that one onto a hook, and I have to carry this one over here. Because Shack has basement, there's no hooks, as you can see, over that way, because the hooks are in the basement. But I won't make it to the basement from where this other Claudette's gone down. So my plan is to put some traps down for now. This Claudette here gets the Kobe. She doesn't get very far. So now I decide to go back and get the other one and get her to that hook that the Kobe Claudette was on. But unfortunately I'm still in the same position, whereas I don't have a hook for the one who just Kobe'd, as I won't get her to basement from where she crawls to. And I think she knows this as well, as she crawls back over to this side. So that's those 3 hooks in a row, they're gone. And she's crawling further over to where there are no hooks. I'm just looking around and I see there are no available hooks. I will not get her to shack, it's too far. So my plan is to go off and set traps along the routes that she will most likely run when she wiggles free, because she will wiggle free. I find hatch along the way and I close it. So now she can only go for the doors, and I do have the no way out, so that will help. The obsession's also gone, so remember me will kick in if she makes it to a door. Spoiler alert, she doesn't. Now what I'm hoping for here is that when she wiggles free, she will run one of these routes and I will down her with a trap. A smart survivor, not to imply that this one isn't smart, but a seasoned survivor, should I say, would have, when I picked them up and they wiggled, they would have run back to where they were, knowing that I couldn't get them to hook. Not that this saves them, they will still die anyway, they'll just bleed out. But I've had that happen to me quite a few times, where they just refuse to leave the area where there's no hooks, and your only option is to leave them there because you just can't get them anywhere else. So that's all my traps repositioned. I know she's going to wiggle free when I pick her up, but as I said, I have no option unless I want to wait the extra 2 minutes for her to bleed out. So we try to get her as close over to the shack as we can. And luckily for me, she goes even further to shack, and my trap there catches her out. And from here, I definitely will get her to the basement. I just thought that might be useful for people if you're ever in this situation where you have no hooks in a certain area. These are some of the things you can do with Hag. And just that there, because I know she deliberately went to that corner knowing there were no hooks. Sorry, don't judge me. Don't judge me! And then I don't know why I'm placing traps. I can still fill my trap meter, so I tend to do it after, even when they're all dead, so. Just ignore my neuroses. And that was the Suffocation Pit game. So my friends, that is my offering for you today. I hope it was of some use to somebody, or at least slightly entertaining in some way. I do have a few other uploads to do, I just have to get round to editing them, and as I'm not very good at editing, it kind of puts me off, and then I don't know if anybody's enjoying the videos, but I will get them up eventually, so please bear with me. I really do appreciate every single one of you who comes to watch the videos, who gives a like to the video, and who gives me a cheeky subscribe. I do have a channel over on TikTok as well, if you prefer shorter videos and clips, things like that, as opposed to these long drawn out videos here on YouTube. My name over on TikTok is just Scream4918. If you'd like to go over there and give me a follow, I would highly appreciate it. And I guess that's all I have for you today. I hope you're all doing very well, and thank you for stopping by once again, and I shall see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.